Hello and welcome to the Educated Affiliate, and the update for Cliqly this week would be ending, let's see, when is that ending? As of the 18th of August. Um, so some interesting stuff this week. A lot of conversation going on, a lot of emails going back and forth. The Tangly group is heating up. They crack me up. But they really have no other outlet because you can't post anything in the regular Facebook group that isn't absolutely what the comrades want in there. And I say that jokingly, but it's true. They just censor everything. And I just want to give a little anecdote to that because, they talk about it being negativity. And I'm going to give you an example here, which it's not negativity. Some people are, out of line. But when people just post their data and they give a speculative reason as to why their data may be like that, that's not negative. That's just an answer because we don't get answers. We don't get direct answers. We aren't allowed to ask questions, and we aren't allowed to get them answered online directly. Support, is not answering things to its fullest extent. It's always some kind of whitewash answer, and that is what it is. It's frustrating and stuff. But I want to give a little sort of comparison. I recently, I'm a businessman. I'm into a lot of different things, and I recently joined a mentorship group in which I did a 5-day challenge for, and it's not digital marketing. It's an outside skill that I'm trying to procure both for my businesses and for maybe making it a little business myself. And I do a lot of these things. I enjoy learning different skills and whatnot, expanding my horizons, so to speak, and skill level. So I joined the group. It was $47, and then it was $47 for VIP, which was being able to go into the Zoom after the challenge and get full-on questions answered for as long as it would take. Now, I know how everyone always says, I will answer all your questions. And then they go for 45 minutes and they say, okay, well, that's it. That's all the time we have for now, right? And that's typical. And this new challenge I got involved with in the VIP, the person who was running the challenge, who runs the mentorship, stayed in there for over 2 hours after the hour-long class. So that's 3 hours. This is all for $47, and answered every single question until there were no more questions. Literally until there were no more questions. He did this every day for 5 days. I joined the membership. It was $5,000. I spent a lot more money than I did, to join Cliqly. And they've also got a Facebook group, right? And you go into that Facebook group, and it's a completely different story. It's nothing but positive. Nobody's griping about anything because it's questions are being answered. He gets on every day. He has a coaching call every day for the students, every day. And him and his other teachers answer every question until the session is done. They don't say, okay, we're going to go for 45 minutes. We're going to go, for an hour or whatever, and then that's it. He answers every question till the questions are done. The camaraderie and the environment in that Facebook group is unbelievably. I just posted a simple question just now. I got it answered in like 2 seconds. It was unreal. And so I'm not, look at, Cliqly is what it is, but, Cliqly talks about not wanting negativity in the Facebook group. Well, then be more available. Answer more questions, because there's a lot of speculation that goes around, because there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. And for instance, I always say my question is, why do opens stay the same but clicks go down? And that gets blamed on the IPs. 3 years in this program, nobody's answered this question, ever. 3 years I've been in this. I've been mailing for, I think, 1,000 days now. Let's see how many days I've been mailing. 1,007 days. Never missed a day of mailing. Put tens of thousands of dollars into this business, and I can't get that question answered. Anyways, not a gripe. Just saying, I'm just putting my data out there. I'm not trying to be negative. Sometimes the data is negative, and that has to be dealt with. But maybe Cliqly could sit and answer questions on a Zoom call until nobody had any more questions. I doubt that's ever going to happen. But anyways, so let's get into the numbers for me this week, and also an interesting situation with a friend of mine who runs the Tangly program. You all know who she is, and I've known her. She's no Jeer, so we've known each other since the beginning. And her and I have had our discussions about how to build this thing, and we built it totally differently. And we respected each other, and actually we both gotten pretty much to the same place, building it totally differently. So it's kind of ironic how that all came about. She's a dynamic woman, and really, knows her figures and knows digital marketing very, very well, whereas I'm just a kind of crazy business guy that just kind of goes for it. Anyways, these are our numbers this week. Let's see, what was it from the 18th, from the 12th to the 18th? So that's this figure here. Okay, basically the same, hasn't changed. Sending 3 million C-Pros. And let's see, what is that total right there? I think it's, well, let's just do this here. 780. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the 18th. That's one more day. That's this week already. So it's 690.40, still staying around 700, under 700. It's been really, really kind of dropping here. It dropped. Well, so this is when I was able to go back into buying the, having to pay for the 10-cent click unlimited. And that's another thing, we were never told when we started, well, 10-cent click is going to be available to you to a certain point, then it's going to get cut off and you're going to have to pay for it. It still kind of hits me wrong. Again, I will, say the credits have gotten a lot more inexpensive, but still that is, sticks in my craw. Anyways, here's where I started paying. This is for 2 months after the Gmail thing, pretty much under control, and then numbers just drop after 2 months. You can see here it starts dropping 180. I mean, I've been through this before, down to 130, and then it's dropped down to 96, and it's pretty much stayed right there ever since. If this goes any lower, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford to do this. And this is a reason why I don't do the mastermind and I don't do the double up, because I can't have any consistency or faith that I'm going to be able to put all that money up front and be able to pay for it again. I've got to see some more consistent, bigger numbers. And hopefully that's in the works. Now, the interesting thing is this week, Abby and I, we compare numbers all the time. We talk all the time. We compare numbers. They've been about the same. Now, she's sending 4 million. I'm sending 3 million. Her numbers are slightly bigger than me, but evidently she did a post in Tangly that wasn't well accepted by Cliqly. And ironically, the next day, her numbers jumped from this average here to about $200, $215 a day. Nobody knows how that happens. We know they have the ability to cut off the spigot because they've done that, right? They've knocked you down to $10 a day for those that don't pay for the unlimited click. And, we know that they can do that. Now, whether or not they're doing that or they're controlling that, it's pure speculation. But for somebody to jump from 100, 115 to 200 in one day and then do it 2 days in a row and now 3 days in a row, and the rest of the group is not moving at all. As you can see, my numbers have pretty much stayed the same. They're not moving at all. You would think if somebody went to 200, we might go, another person might go to 120 or something, but it doesn't seem to happen. And the other thing that is interesting to me is that, and this is just data I'm looking at and I'm saying, why? What's going on? Nobody's answering these questions. I'm not saying it's fraud. I'm not saying it's being manipulated, but it's not organic. It seems really, really weird. And IPs cannot be the only answer for everything. It just can't. So even back here, up until this point, all the way through July, there was 20,000, 17 to 20,000 to 19,000 opens a day. And then all of a sudden, actually the last day of July, it drops to 15,000. And then it's been right around there, 15, 14, 12,000, 15 opens per day. That's 5,000 difference. That's a 5,000 subscriber difference or open difference. How does that occur? And it just, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but these numbers seem to jump so crazily. And the only answer I ever get is, it's IPs. IPs are better. IPs are good. Now, I said something when I first started getting, down underneath $100 a day. And they said they'd switch me to some better IPs. Obviously, if they did, it didn't do anything. But that's where we're at. So that's where we're at for the week. Really frustrating. I would love to go to Double Up. I did send an email in asking if they're going to go to higher tiers. They said they are going to go to more tiers because I've hit 3 million organically now. I built this thing from the start and hit 3 million organically. I don't want to have to keep paying to send more emails. I would like to just be consistent in what it costs and keep mailing. And another thing is that, what I don't understand is they said when we make money, they make money, right? But if that's the case, this is one of those things that just don't add up. If that's the case, then why'd they turn off the 10-cent link? Because I was making $300 a day, and they cut that link off. So they couldn't possibly have been making $300 a day or more because they wouldn't have cut that off. They obviously were losing money, and so therefore they had to cut it off for expenses, which is fine. That's a business call. But this whole idea of they make money when we make money, it doesn't jive with their actions. So again, not trying to be negative, just trying to deal with the data and trying to get some answers to my questions. And that's where we stand. So we will keep plugging away. And again, if you have any questions, you can email me at Damo, the Educated Affiliate, or if you want to come on and talk about this on a maybe do an interview on a Zoom call, we can do that too. All right, have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you later.